Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer Daily where we give you all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. Lots to talk about today, little bit of a World Cup theme. But first of all, I just want to say, Dries Mertens, who plays for Napoli, scored a cracking goal for Belgium yesterday. Lukaku got two as well. Golden Boot winner, maybe, let's see. But Mertens has got a 24 million release clause. He's just turned 31, 5'7", decent couple of seasons at Napoli. Would you take him at United? We talk about, well, we don't really want any more players around 29, 30. He's 31. Would you take him? £24 million as a sort of backup wide man sort of option? I don't think Mourinho would, because I think Mourinho wants somebody tall like Mandzukic. But 24 million, Mertens, I'd take him. I think he's very, very fast, can score goals. I would take him. I would. Let us know what you think in your comments below. But first of all, let's talk about James Rodriguez. He will be making his Colombian bow this lunchtime. If you want to watch it as a watch-along, we're doing it on That's Football, 1 p.m. I'll be doing that, watching Colombia. James Rodriguez. Why are we talking about James Rodriguez? He's not in the press. He's not in Don Balon saying he's coming to United. DiMarzio's not saying it. But I'm just going to get in there ahead here and say that there is an opportunity for Manchester United to do this deal. He is at Bayern Munich on a loan deal. I'm fully aware of that, and it's a 2-year deal with the option to buy him at the end. But Bayern Munich have just replaced their manager, and if you look around Germany and what they're saying there is a feeling that James Rodriguez will not stay at Bayern Munich and he will be sent back to Real Madrid. I cannot see for the life of me that Real Madrid are going to want to use James Rodriguez. They've tried that. They moved on. They've got Bale, they've got Ronaldo to deal with, they've also got Asensio and Isco, and they've got an ex-Spanish coach. James Rodriguez would be surplus to repliance at Real Madrid. So if Bayern Munich send him back, Real Madrid don't need him, he suddenly becomes available. He turns 26 in July, 5'11", wand of a left foot. He would be brilliant at Manchester United. Now there's been talk about him going to Italy, and I look at Italy and I think, well, Juventus won't take him because they've already got too many options unless Dybala leaves, in which case we might benefit from that. Maybe Inter Milan would look at him, but I think George Mendes is his client. Mourinho knows him like the back of his hand. I think United can do this. And also, just to throw a little bit of a further conspiracy there, who can remember? It was half time against Man City in the Manchester derby in April. 2-0, we're losing. Gundogan's just scored, and the official Manchester United Twitter account in Spain just puts out a tweet, James Rodriguez, and then it gets deleted very quickly. I mean, it probably means nothing, but could mean something. Maybe I'm clutching at straws, and this is totally from me, but I just think when you sometimes you can look at a player that you really want, and I've always wanted James Rodriguez. I think for us, he's sort of an upgrade on Mata, who's coming towards the end of his career, but he's quicker than Mata, he's more skillful than Mata. His crossing ability is absolutely brilliant with that left foot, and he can score a goal. Watch him today at lunchtime, and let's see what he's all about if you haven't seen him. But and join me for it, 1 p.m, like I say, on That's Football. But I just think we can do this deal. I think it's a deal that we can do, and I think we could do it for 60 million. Obviously, if Bayern Munich suddenly decide they want to keep him, they might do that, but I don't think they will. I think they'll be looking at bringing people like Brandt or Werner in, and I think Rodriguez will find himself back at Madrid. They won't really need to use him, and then he suddenly becomes available, and United should be at the front of the queue with him. I really like him. I really, really do. Moving on then, well, give us your thoughts on Rodriguez, obviously, give us your thoughts below. But I think we can do that deal, and I think we need to be aggressive with deals like that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here, and I'll ask you this as well. I'm going to put a poll there. Would you take James Rodriguez or Bale? Because I'd take James Rodriguez, and you get him for half the price. So get James Rodriguez. I'd take him over Bale every day of the week. Let us know what you think. So the next player I want to talk about, well, let's talk about Darmian actually, because this is a reality. This was reported in Sport Witness that Darmian, in the most boring transfer of the summer window, going to Juventus, there's a meeting on Wednesday. Now, the biggest thing about that is, let's get rid of Darmian. No disrespect, but we need to move Darmian on. More importantly, if there's a meeting with Juventus on Wednesday about Darmian, will we be talking about Sandro? Will we be talking about Martial going? Will we be talking about Khedira and people like that? Or even a Dybala? So hopefully this at least get Darmian out of the club, and we'll see what happens. Lozano, I've mentioned, we spoke about him on Sunday night. Now I've looked at, there is a video from a couple of years ago. You can actually go and watch it if you want. Just type in Hirving Lozano, the United Stand, and there's a video I did pretty much 2 years ago when he was playing in Mexico, saying, I looked at this lad, he looks really good. He's now come to Europe, he's now playing for PSV. His agent is Mino Raiola, which is absolutely massive because he likes doing deals with Manchester United. I don't know how much we'd have to pay PSV for him. 30 million, 35 million. I'd do the deal. He's 22, but 23 this summer. He's actually taller than I thought at 5'10". Watch him over the World Cup, but I'd do the deal with him. And the problem is, if he continues to have the World Cup he's having, you can see him going to Real Madrid or Barcelona. That's the sort of move he could do. But again, I think United, I know he plays on the left for Mexico, but he plays a lot on the right for PSV. He can play both sides. So I'd like him. And keep watching him at the World Cup. Again, Mino Raiola is his agent. Why we can do these sort of deals, and instead of looking at like I said, the Bale deals, this lad's probably going to be a third of what Bale would cost. And again, he's exactly the sort of player we would go. I tell you what, Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't sign Gareth Bale at 29. He'd be going for Lozano because Ferguson understood what United was all about, and he would go and get the next star rather than getting a declining star like that. The only time we really ever did that was Van Persie, and that was because he wanted to win the title very, very quickly because he knew he was coming towards the end. So, yeah, talking about players coming towards the end, Javier Hernandez. Now, spoken about Dres Martins and whether we take him at Manchester United. Now, Javier Hernandez, what are your thoughts on him? Because I still think if we're looking for a backup striker, he'd be brilliant. He's only just turned 30. West Ham have hardly used him. My concern a year ago when this was mentioned was that would he be happy coming to United and sitting on the bench because he's been playing first team football in Germany. But at West Ham he's been on the bench a lot. So come to Manchester United, be our backup to Lukaku, and be loved. I mean, I'd love Hernandez to come back. Yeah, he's a bit limited in some things that he does, but having said that, he played up front on his own against Germany yesterday, the other day, and was brilliant. So I think we could get him very, very cheap. As I said, as I opened the show up with, Mertens or Hernandez, I'd be very happy with as the backup striker. I know he wants to have this tall option in Mandzukic because Mourinho's obsessed with height, but actually, look at some of the good teams in this tournament so far. They're moving the ball around quickly. They're causing big teams problems, i.e. Mexico. And Hernandez isn't that small anyway. I think Hernandez is over 5'10". So I would like to see Hernandez there. I thought I would bring him in because I really do think I would like to see him. Some of the more obscure transfer market stories out there today. Daily Express are saying via Dario Goal that Real Madrid would be willing to sell Varane if we put in a huge offer. I mean, again, I will keep saying this. We keep getting linked to Varane. Why does Varane want to leave Real Madrid? 3 times Champions League winner in a row. Why would you go to play United where your ceiling's probably going to be quarterfinals of the Champions League? I mean, I know he likes Mourinho, but why would he want to leave? And he's well into a contract. It's just not going to happen, is it, Varane? I think if we're looking at centre-backs now, I did see something about Boateng again, Jerome Boateng. I wasn't very impressed with him against Mexico. I know it was only one game, and I got a bit of a telling off yesterday from somebody. I forget what their name was. I think it was MMA News or something like that. They said, you're saying why we're looking at free when Manchester United were rich, and you shouldn't judge people on the World Cup, but then you're judging Rojo. And in defence of that, ironically, I don't think you can. Look, Lingard played well last night, didn't he? Doesn't mean he can play in a top 4 title winning side week in, week out. And I think you've got to be very careful about the World Cup, and I'd throw Lozano in that. But basic defending, you can say that that's a concern. Like Rojo's defensive skills weren't good, and he could have been playing for the Dog and Duck pub team. You'd still say, defensively not that good. So Boateng, I don't want to just judge him on the Mexico game, but what I can judge him on is the fact that his turn of pace and speed would be a concern in the Premier League. So if we're looking at a centre-back, we mentioned Skriniar yesterday. I liked that Milenkovic, who I think is at Sampdoria, and also Clement Longley at Sevilla. They're the sort of centre-backs I would be looking at Manchester United getting at the moment. And also keep an eye out today for Koulibaly for Senegal. Keep an eye out for him. We have been linked for him. Keep an eye out for him. So a big day in the World Cup, actually. Manchester United linked. I've got my theory about James Rodriguez. Give him a watch at 1 p.m. I'm doing the watch along on That's Football. Koulibaly at 4 o'clock. Senegal, Poland. That's going to be a good game. And yeah, let's see how those games go. But in relation to Manchester United, look, the World Cup's been fantastic, hasn't it? England with a late winner. We don't normally do that. So there's a lot of interest around the World Cup. And all I would say is, yeah, let's take a look at some of the options. But let's also be very, very careful about how we start thinking they're world beaters just because they're doing well in the World Cup. The standard is, for me, lower Premier League, top Championship. That's what I think international football is. But yes, what do you think, James Rodriguez? What do you think about Mertens? Would you take him? Hernandez, Lozano. everything else we've discussed. Give us your thoughts on it. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. We are back tonight. We couldn't do it last night because of the England game and a few things were going on. We are back tonight live at 9 o'clock. We're doing them at 9 o'clock while the World Cup's on because of the 7 o'clock kickoff. So the United Stand will be live at 9 o'clock tonight as per usual. We'll start getting the night live shows going again. And if you haven't seen Flex and Rant's video, that sort of got lost in all the World Cup games, but it was out yesterday afternoon. So do give it a watch. I'll put the eye in the top right hand corner. Thanks everyone for watching. Transfer Daily, remember, is still going to be here at 7 a.m. Monday to Friday, and we'll be back live tonight at 9 a.m. Thanks for watching. Drop a like and I'll speak to you all soon. And don't forget to give your comments on everything below. Some really good topics today.